soft enough to make the dark afraid. Sing to me in silver, sing to me in blue. Every constellation sings of you. Starlight serenade, falling slow. Let the music carry away where the night winds go. If the whole world's watching, let them see you singing your starlight serenade to me. The dew came in around the edge of midnight. You pulled my jacket collar up with care and laughed the way you do when nothing's funny. But everything is more than you can bear. I memorized the angle of your profile, the way the Milky Way lit up your eyes. I swore if I could hold one single moment, it would be you against the open sky. They say that every star has burned for millions of years before its light could reach our eyes. That's how I know a love this slow and steady is traveling across a sacred sky. We are 2 points of light aimed at each other. Through all the distance, through all the dark and cold. And what we're building here is worth the waiting. A starlight serenade that won't grow. Play me a starlight serenade, the kind that echoes long after the night has frayed. Sing to me in silver, sing to me in gold. Every note a story only we have told. Starlight serenade, never fade. Let this be the melody that we both made. Under every sky, till every star is through, singing my starlight serenade to you. Starlight, starlight serenade, starlight, so and full. Starlight serenade. I walked out to the field at the edge of the town, where the tall grass bends and the light spills down. I thought if I stood still and closed my eyes, I might just hear you moving through the skies. The trees were leaning softly to the east, like they were listening, like they'd found some peace. And for a moment something touched my face, like fingers made of air, where I've always felt like you belong. Whispers in the wind, soft and low, telling me the things I need to know. That love doesn't vanish when the body's gone. It just becomes the wind and carries on. There's a cardinal that visits every spring and lands on the same branch like it's offering something red and bright against the gray. I always say hello, I always stay. River talks in languages I know, a murmur from somewhere deep below. I throw a stone and watch the circle spread, and think of all the things I left unsaid. Maybe grief is just love with nowhere to land, so it rises like dust from an open hand and finds its way into the moving air, becomes a wind that's always, always there. I used to fight the silence, used to dread the space that opened up after you left, but now I breathe it in, I let it be, because I know that wind is still part of me. Whispers in the wind, I hear you still, in the turning of the leaves upon the hill, in the warm breath of the evening on my cheek, in the way the world gets quiet when I see whispers in the wind, gentle and slow, carrying the love I'll always know. That nothing disappears, it just moves on into the wind, and carries on. Carry on, carry on, carry on, carry on. The record player hums in the corner of the room. A 45 I found at a shop last afternoon. The label is half gone, but the groove still knows the song. And something about that feels like where I belong. I pour a glass and settle on the floor, the kind of night that asks for nothing more. The needle finds the music in the black, and everything I dreamed of comes quietly back. Dreams on vinyl, spinning slow, the crackle and the warmth of everything I know. These grooves hold all the places I have been, the people and the moments caught between. Dreams on vinyl, round and round. The most alive I feel is in that sound. has got a scratch near the beginning, a little skip that happens every time. But I have never skipped it, never fixed it. That imperfection feels too close to mine. Still carries something worth listening for. You can stream 1,000 songs in seconds, have the whole world's music in your hand, but nothing hits the chest the way a record does. Nothing makes the same demand. Yourself before you plant your seeds. Dreams on vinyl, spinning slow. All the life I've lived pressed into every row. These grooves hold every love and every scar. The road I walk, the distance where you are. Your dreams on vinyl lead the way. Dreams on vinyl, spinning, dreaming, dreaming, dreaming. Dreams on vinyl, dreams on vinyl.
I keep you in a shoebox under the bed, a stack of frozen moments, white edged and spread across the life we lived before we knew that every second spent was me and you. The colors have gone softer now with time. That orange dress of yours turned almost lime. Your smile still holds its shape behind the fade, like love itself, imperfect, unafraid. Faded Polaroid love still feels warm when I hold it up to the light that we lived in back then, when the world was just us, now and again. Polaroid love, the edges soft, the colors rough, but in every blur, in every ghost, I find the thing I love the most. Faded Polaroid love. Here's one from the diner still wet, you'd stolen half of mine. You shook the photo, laughing, watched it come slowly into focus like a hum. And here's the lake, one finger's barely touching the summer evening, thick with something rushing. Neither of us named it, but we knew what the Polaroid would hold right after the shutter flew. They say the photograph steals something from you, a splinter of the soul in every frame. But if that's true, then I am made of pieces of every ordinary day we came to understand as extraordinary. I give every piece to live them back again, 1,000 faded squares of you and summer, the most alive I've ever been. Faded Polaroid love, still the realest thing I've got. All the digital world can't touch what a square of paper holds this much. Faded Polaroid love, worn and slow, and not enough. But in every crack and every scene, you're still the center of the dream. My faded Polaroid love. Faded, still beautiful. Faded Polaroid love. I've been trying to find the words for this. How a morning light or a fleeting kiss can mean the whole world if you hold it right and burn it into something to survive the night. So I sat down here with nothing but a pen, and I tried to build a house to keep you in, not of wood or stone, but of melody, a place that time and distance cannot reach. You'll be forever in this song, in every verse and every note where you belong. Long after silence takes the stage, you'll live between the lines upon this page. still be playing somewhere soft and low in a room where two people are starting to know what we knew, that love becomes sound, and sounds outlast the love that first was found. You'll be forever in this song, in every note, in every place you once belonged. Long after silence takes the stage, you'll breathe between the lines upon this page. I can't hold back the years, I can't hold back the rain, but I can write you here so you never fade again. You'll be forever in this song, forever in this song. I drove through the old neighborhood last Sunday. Don't ask me why, I couldn't tell you now. The elm trees on the corner made it over, though everything around them seemed to bow. The house still has that same green painted shutter, one hinge gone like it was when we were there. Someone else's curtains in the window, someone else's life inside beyond the stair. Back to our old street where the world made sense, where the summer nights went on forever, where you'd call my name across the fence and nothing between us needed mending. Back to our old street, I still go there, in the quiet places no one else can follow, where we were young and didn't know how rare it was, that sweet and unexamined sorrow. Back to our old street. The park at the end still has the broken fountain, the one we used to dare each other through. We'd come home drenched in light to our own mothers and laugh about it, walking, me and you. A kid rides past on a bicycle too big, the way I always did on Saturdays back then. I almost wanna stop him, almost tell him, hold every summer twice before it ends. We scattered like the seeds from all those maples, carried by the wind to different lives. I heard you move somewhere out on the coast, now I heard you're doing well, I heard you thrive, and I'm glad I am, I mean every word. But sometimes on a Sunday afternoon, I need to come back here and just remember the version of us both before we knew. Back to our old street where the light was gold, where the days stretched wide like they'd last forever, where we made our inches of sidewalk air and find the kid I was still there to follow. Back to our old street. Back to our old street. Our old street. Our old street. Our old street. Our old street.
The platform's almost empty at this hour. The board still shows a train that hasn't left. I check the destination like a flower that keeps on turning somewhere past its breath. It says all the things I should have said. It says the night I let you walk away. The conductor checks his watch beside the engine. The last train leaves for yesterday. Last train to yesterday. I need to get back to the things I didn't say. To the version of the night that I could change. To the moment just before we rearranged. Last train to yesterday. The whistle calls and I can't look away from the life that could have been the one we chose. If I caught the last train before the platform closed. Last train to yesterday. I've read the ticket 100 different times. The price is everything I've carried since. The weight of choices measured out in rhymes that no one hears but me in the distance. The carriage lights are warm against the dark. Through every window someone's moving past. A face I recognize, the one I was before I let the future come too fast. And maybe there's no train, I know that's true. You can't rewind the clock or own the night, but something in the standing here at midnight still feels like the beginning of a fight. Not with you, with every version of myself that chose the quiet over saying true, that let the moment close and didn't hold it, that stood here on this platform and lost you. So I wait, I always wait, just in case the last train to yesterday runs late. Last train to yesterday. If it came, I'd know exactly what to say. I'd find you at the station, find you at the door. I'd be the one who chose you and chose more. Last train to yesterday. The whistle fades and the platform falls away, and all I'm left with is the life I have, which carries you inside it. Even so, outside for an hour. I count the mile markers like there's something. I count the exits I'll never take. A coffee cup gone cold on the dashboard. A map I haven't opened since last spring. The only company I got is headlights and shadows leaning off the shoulder's edge. Another lonely highway under a lonely sky. The kind of road that asks you where you're going, and all you got is why. Another yellow line that never seems to end. I left behind a town, I left behind a name. I'm doing it again, just me and another lonely highway. Past a diner lit up like a lantern. Saw a couple through the window, heads bowed low. Something about the way they shared the silence made me pull over just to let it go. I've been running from a running towards something. Most days I can't say which one it is. The road don't ask and the road don't judge us so. It just takes you where the going goes. Maybe lonely isn't always what it looks like. Maybe some of this is freedom in disguise. Maybe the highway is the closest I've come to sitting still enough to recognize that what I'm looking for isn't in the next town. It's in the quiet between the miles, somewhere in the ache of moving forward without knowing that I'm still alive enough to care. Another lonely highway under a cold, clear sky. The kind of road that tells you who you are when there's no one else beside. Another yellow line, another mile to go. I left behind the noise, I left behind the weight, and now I'm driving slow, just me and another lonely highway. One more lonely highway home. I found an old photograph inside a drawer. Two people laughing at some forgotten shore. I almost didn't recognize the face. A younger version wearing your embrace. The corners worn, the colors slowly bleach. Like everything good that slips beyond our reach. I sat there on the floor a little while,
coffee shop we loved is now a gap between a bank and somewhere selling phones. Progress marching over all our stones. But close my eyes and I can still hear it. The booth we sat in, coffee and your wit. The way you talk for hours and never stop about the life you live when things looked up. Maybe yesterday was never perfect, true, but memory is kinder than the view. It softens all the edges, blurs the rough, and keeps the parts that felt like it was enough. I don't wanna live there, but I need to visit when the present starts to bleed. I get lost in yesterday, in the echo of the games we used to play. Every face becomes a door back into you, into everything I was and almost knew. I get lost in yesterday, where the summers lasted longer than a day. I know I can't go back, I know the path is gone, but I'll keep getting lost in yesterday. In yesterday. We were 18 and we had no idea that the summer had an ending drawing near. We filled the days like they were bottomless jars and drove the back roads, navigating stars. No one told us it was all about to shift, that September comes and takes you like a gift, unwrapped too fast, too careless, too unseen, until you're standing somewhere you have never been. The summer of our hearts was the best one, the kind that burns too bright before it's done. We were fearless, we were golden, we were free, before the world divided you from me. The summer of our hearts, I'd live it twice, I'd pay whatever was the asking price to feel the way the air felt that last night before the summer of our hearts took flight. The last night of August we made a fire down at the lake where the reeds grew higher. Somebody brought a guitar, somebody sang, and none of us spoke of the morning's plane. We laughed too loud and stayed too long past dark, like if we kept the fire, then the summer wouldn't part from everything we built inside those months. The person I became for the first and only once. Now we're scattered, now we're older, now we carry different weights upon each shoulder. But ask me on the worst day I have known, what kept me standing, kept me not alone. It's this, it's all of this, the lake, the fire, the version of myself that aimed a little higher. Because one summer long ago I learned
September stole us from that night. The summer of our hearts, it never ends. It lives in every one of us who went down to that lake and stayed until the dawn. The summer of our hearts, forever carrying on. That summer, that summer, that summer, that summer.
Heels on the pavement, neon on your face. The whole city's breathing like it's keeping your pace. We stumbled out of something we've been holding too long. Now we're alive in the middle of this song. Strangers in street lamps, music from a bar. Your hand in my hand, reaching up at the stars. We don't need a reason, we don't need a plan. We drove with all the windows down, salt in the air on the edge of town, stereo loud and the sun bleeding gold into everything we never had to hold. You laughed at nothing, I laughed too, the kind of happy only summer knew. Ice cream melting, bare feet on the dash. Moments like that were never meant to last. Golden summer nights, we were burning bright like the last hour of the light on the water. Golden summer nights, we held it all so tight, but you can't hold fire before it gets shorter. And oh, I still feel the heat on my skin. Those golden summer nights won't come again, but I'd give anything just to live them again. Bonfire smoke and a borrowed guitar, lying on the roof and counting each star. You said forever like you meant every word, the most beautiful I ever heard. Now September comes and steals a warm, and I'm left here chasing your ghost in the storm. Flip through photographs, I swear I can feel the summer on my face, golden and real. Time is cruel, it takes the sweetest things, but in my chest there's still that song it sings of rooftops, road trips, golden evening air, of you with sunlight tangled in your hair. I know it's gone, I know it won't return, but God, how beautifully those nights still burn. Golden summer nights, golden summer nights, golden summer nights. You handed me a tape on a Tuesday afternoon, said play it when you miss me underneath the moon. Side A was all the things you couldn't say out loud. Side B was every moment you were proud. I wore that ribbon thin from playing it so much, a pencil in the hole to keep it from the dust. The hiss between the songs became a sound I knew, as close to silence as I'd get without you.
mixtape. Mixtape is a love letter no one will admit. Every song selected for the way the pieces fit. You put that ballad third because you knew it'd land. The moment that it hit me, you had plans. I carried you in plastic in my jacket pocket then, in Walkmans and in boomboxes again. Digital is perfect, but it never quite compares to a voice recorded warm with static on a prayer. Now everything is streaming, everything is clean. No hiss, no gray, no warmth between. But give me back the crackle, give me back the haze. The way your voice sounds filtered through the days. I'd trade 1,000 playlists just to feel love, this lo-fi, this imperfect, this real. Love on cassette, love on cassette. I still hit rewind and I still don't regret. Worn at the edges but perfectly ours. Recorded in bedrooms and backseats and cars. Love on cassette, lo-fi and true. Hand labeled in marker forever. Me and you. Some things are better when they fade a bit. Love on cassette, and I'm keeping it. Rewind, play. Love on cassette. I still reach for your hand in the dark. Still hear you breathing. Still feel your heart. Even though the bed is cold and wide, you left an echo living deep inside. The coffee cup you left beside the sink. The notes you wrote in blue ink. I keep them like they're sacred, like they're true, because they're all that's left of you. Echoes of your love fill every empty space. I hear you in the silence. I see you in the grace of ordinary moments we thought would last forever. Echoes of your love, the sound of us together. And though you're far beyond my reach, I hold the echo of everything you've been to me. A song comes on, the one we used to share, and suddenly you're standing right there in the kitchen light, in the golden haze, dancing like we were lost in better days. I press my fingers where your fingers lay on this old record that we used to play. The needle drops and every note I hear is you
becomes the quiet after the storm. It becomes the aching of a familiar song, the place inside where you still belong. I won't erase a single thing we've known. Even echoes mean I'm not alone. Echoes of your love fill every empty space. I carry you in silence, I carry you in grace, in every ordinary moment, every letter. Echoes of your love, the sound of us together. And though you're far beyond my reach, I hold the echo of everything, everything you've ever been to me. I drove through the old neighborhood last Sunday. Don't ask me why, I couldn't tell you now. The elm trees on the corner made it over, though everything around them seemed to bow. The house still has that same green painted shutter, one hinge gone like it was when we were there. Someone else's curtains in the window, someone else's life inside. Beyond the stair, back to our old street where the world made sense, where the summer nights went on forever, where you call my name across the fence and nothing between us needed amending. Back to our old street, I still go there in the quiet places no one else can follow, where we were young and didn't know how rare it was, that sweet and unexamined sorrow. Back to our old street. The park at the end still has a broken fountain, the one we used to dare each other through. We'd come home drenched in lie to our own mothers and laugh about it, walking me and you. A kid rides past on a bicycle too big, the way I always did on Saturdays back then. I almost wanna stop him, almost tell him hold every summer twice before it ends. We scattered like the seeds from all those maples, carried by the wind to different lives. I heard you move somewhere out on the coast now, I heard you doing well, I heard you thrive, and I'm glad I am, I mean every word. But sometimes on a Sunday afternoon I need to come back here and just remember the version of us both before we knew. Back to our old street where the light was gold, where the days stretched wide like they'd last forever, where we made our promises brave and bold before we understood the weight of a never. Back to our old street, I still go there when the world gets heavy and the years grow hollow. I walk those familiar squares of sidewalk air and find the kid I was still there to follow.
our street. The curtains breathe against the open frame. The moon spills soft and silver on your name, written in the letters by the bed, and all the words I left inside my head. You move like something underwater slow, a silhouette in velvet indigo. The night wraps close around us like a vow. I don't want anything but this right now. Velvet moonlight, pour it over me, softer than a secret, deeper than the sea. Stay inside this moment, let the whole world fade into velvet moonlight and the mess we've made. Touch me like the dark does, gently without sound. Velvet moonlight, don't you let me down. Your voice is low, a hum against my skin. I'm losing track of where you and begin. The clock has stopped, or maybe time has bent around the two of us and what it meant. Outside the city murmurs, half awake, but here the only sound is what we make. The rustle of the sheets, your steady breath, this kind of quiet feels so close to death. And I don't mind. Some nights I think the moon was made for this, full skin and shadow, silence and a kiss for everything unspoken in the air. The way you push back slowly through my hair. I've lived 100 midnights, but not one has ever felt like velvet like you've done. Velvet moonlight, pour it over me, hold me in the darkness like you'll never leave. Let the whole world vanish, let the morning wait. Velvet moonlight, this is all I need. Stay inside this moment, let the hours slow. Velvet moonlight, don't you let me go. It came on in the grocery store today, that song we used to hum on Sunday mornings. I stood there with my basket, looked away, and felt it moving through me without warning. The kind of music that undoes the lock on every room you thought you'd probably closed. I left my cart beside the frozen aisle and sat with it a minute, I suppose. A song we used to know, playing soft in a place I didn't expect to go. Back to the kitchen table, back to your face, back to the we of us filling the space. A song we used to know, 3 minutes and 30 seconds of letting go of who I've been since you've been gone from here. A song we used to know, still still finds me even here. You used to sing it slightly off the key and swear you had it right, which made it better. You pointed me and laughed and I would agree, just to watch you glow inside the weather of that particular ordinary afternoon when everything was right because it wasn't. And we were just two people in a room with bad acoustics and a whole lot between us. I don't know what to do with songs like these that carry someone back through a single chord. They ask you to feel things you thought were released, and you can't skip ahead, you can't fast forward. So you stand in the aisle and you breathe it in, the whole of what it was and what it meant. And when it ends, you pick your basket up and remember you were someone well loved once. A song we used to know plays in the strangest corners when I'm low, in supermarkets, lobbies, passing cars. It finds me like it always knows just where you are. A song we used to know, still 3 minutes 30 when the feelings show. I can't unhear it, I don't wanna try. A song we used to know is how I still say hi. Is how I still say the record player hums in the corner of the room. A 45 I found at a shop last afternoon. The label is half gone, but the groove still knows the song. And something about that feels like where I belong. I pour a glass and settle on the floor, the kind of night that asks for nothing more. The needle finds the music in the black, and everything I dreamed of comes quietly back. Dreams on vinyl, spinning slow, the crackle and the warmth of everything I know. These grooves hold all the places I have been, the people and the moments caught between. Dreams on vinyl, round and round, the most alive I feel is in that sound. Press the needle down and let it take me there, to all my dreams on vinyl in the air. Side B has got a scratch near the beginning, a little skip that happens every time, but I have never skipped it, never fixed it. That imperfection feels too close to mine. We're all a little worn around the edges, we all have marks from when we hit the floor, but play us right and we still hold the music, still carry something worth listening for. You can stream 1,000 songs in seconds, have the whole world's music in your hand, but nothing hits the chest the way your record does. Nothing makes the same demand to sit with it, to feel the room around you, to let a song take
see only the lonely know. Static whispers something like your name. A song comes on that sounds a lot like rain. I close my eyes and let the signal through. Somehow this station always plays you. Midnight on the radio, I hear your voice between the highs and lows. Every song they play, every note, every word is the ghost of something beautiful we heard. Midnight on the radio, I keep the volume low, I keep the window glow. I don't wanna sleep, I don't wanna let go. Just you and me and midnight on the radio. The DJ says it's nearly 2 a.m. He plays a track he knows we both love then. I wonder if you're listening somewhere out there, with moonlight catching silver in your hair. The city hums beneath the velvet sky, the kind of night that makes you wonder why. Some moments pass and leave a song behind, an endless echo running through the mind. I know you're gone, I know it's just a sound of, but in the static something can be found of. A little piece of everything we were, spinning in the air softly like before. So I stay tuned, I stay up late, I stay and let this midnight slowly fade away. Midnight on the radio. Midnight on the radio. Midnight on the radio. The party thinned around 11, and suddenly it was just you and me. Someone left a record on the turntable, and no one thought to turn the porch light off. You leaned against the door with your arms folded and said, I never know what you're about. And something in the way you were still standing made me wanna figure it all out. It was you and the night and the hum between us, the kind that starts slow in the chest. The whole world asleep in the houses around us, and me forgetting all the rest. You and the night and the way you were laughing is something I said by the door. I've known 100 different kinds of beautiful, but I've never known that kind before. Just you and the night. Ooh. We talked until the sky turned navy, then gray, about the things you never said to anyone, the small beliefs you keep tucked behind your eyes, the dreams you've half given up on. I told you things I'd sworn I'd never say aloud, words I'd kept in drawers for years and years, and you just nodded like you'd always known them, like you've been waiting just to hear. Some nights just choose you, they come without a warning,
the bar where we first touched your hand. The signs, the flickers, pink on wet